Welcome to our video on embracing the Zero Trust security model, inspired by insights from the National Security Agency, NSA. Today's IT landscape is increasingly complex and connected. While this connectivity drives innovation, it also exposes vulnerabilities, making traditional perimeter-based security models insufficient. In this video, we'll break down Zero Trust, a modern approach to security that's vital for today's threat landscape. Traditional defenses have long relied on the assumption that if something is within a network, it's trustworthy. But the reality is that threats exist both outside and inside network boundaries. The rapid expansion of cloud and hybrid environments, combined with more sophisticated and persistent adversaries, shows that perimeter defenses alone are no longer effective. Cybercriminals and even nation-state actors frequently bypass these defenses, threatening national and economic security. To counter these sophisticated threats, organizations need a security approach that offers end-to-end visibility, adaptive risk management, and automated response mechanisms. Zero Trust is a model that incorporates all these elements. It involves implementing monitoring at all network levels, making access decisions based on calculated risk, and using automation to detect and respond to threats quickly. This holistic approach strengthens security in ways traditional models cannot. So, what exactly is Zero Trust? Zero Trust is a security model that operates under an assumed breach mindset. This means it doesn't rely on implicit trust within the network. Instead, it constantly verifies and validates every connection request. With Zero Trust, every access decision considers factors like who is accessing, what they're accessing, and where and when the access occurs. This data-centric approach allows us to minimize the risk of unauthorized access at every level. The Zero Trust model is uniquely equipped to handle today's complex threat landscape. In a mature Zero Trust environment, cybersecurity defenders have more options and can react faster to emerging threats. This approach moves us away from reactive responses, where organizations wait until a breach occurs before acting. With Zero Trust, we're proactive, constantly adapting to new threats, and gaining opportunities to detect subtle indicators of attack earlier than ever before. Implementing Zero Trust isn't just about technology, it requires a strategic mindset shift. Zero Trust assumes that every device, user, and network component could be compromised. This assumption helps enforce least privilege access, meaning each user and device only has the minimum access necessary to do its job. The Zero Trust mindset coordinates security across the entire network ecosystem, bringing together monitoring, response, and control in a way that addresses the dynamic threat environment we face today. Adopting Zero Trust is a journey that takes planning and investment. It's a strategy that allows organizations to respond flexibly and robustly to evolving threats. Starting with small steps, such as segmenting networks and implementing multi-factor authentication, organizations can gradually build a fully mature Zero Trust environment. The result is a unified security posture that offers robust protection and future-ready resilience in an unpredictable digital world. To truly benefit from the Zero Trust model, organizations must adopt a mindset that treats security as a fundamental, ongoing process that anticipates threats and continuously monitors all activities. Let's break down the 4 core pillars that make up this mindset. Zero Trust requires proactive and coordinated system monitoring and management. This includes constant surveillance across all network layers, devices, and user interactions. Monitoring isn't just a routine task here. It's a continuous, coordinated effort to detect, analyze, and respond to threats in real time. This way, any signs of unusual behavior can be quickly acted upon before they turn into a full-scale incident. The Zero Trust model operates under the assumption that any request for access could be from a malicious actor, whether it comes from inside or outside the network. This approach rejects the notion of implicit trust based on network location or user identity. Instead, every single access request must be verified and authenticated, ensuring that only trusted users with legitimate needs gain access to critical resources. Assume all devices and infrastructure may be compromised. Zero Trust presumes that any device, server, or network component could be breached or acting as a threat vector. By treating every part of the infrastructure as potentially compromised, organizations can prevent one compromised device or connection from endangering the entire network. This assumption leads to stricter segmentation and access controls, limiting the potential damage if an asset is compromised. Finally, each access approval incurs some level of risk. Zero Trust acknowledges this reality and encourages readiness for rapid risk assessment, damage control, and recovery when necessary. Organizations must be prepared to assess potential threats quickly, contain breaches, and initiate recovery processes to mitigate damage. This readiness helps prevent small issues from escalating into large-scale security incidents. To fully embrace Zero Trust, security must be viewed not just as a technical measure but as a mindset, a way of operating that is vigilant, prepared, and adaptive to an ever-evolving threat landscape. With a Zero Trust mindset, organizations gain the ability to anticipate, detect, and respond to threats more effectively, ensuring a resilient and robust security posture. Now, to effectively implement a Zero Trust solution, organizations must adhere to a set of guiding principles that reshape how security operates within the digital environment. Let's explore these core principles in detail. Never trust, always verify. At the heart of Zero Trust is the principle of treating every user, device, application, and data flow as untrusted by default. This means that regardless of whether an entity is inside or outside the network perimeter, it must be authenticated and explicitly authorized before gaining access to resources. The focus here is on dynamic security policies that determine the least privilege necessary for users or devices to perform their functions. This principle effectively minimizes the risk of insider threats and external attacks, ensuring that even trusted users are not exempt from scrutiny. Zero Trust operates on the assumption that a breach has already occurred or that an adversary may already be inside the network. This proactive stance requires organizations to deny access by default unless verified otherwise. All users, devices, data flows, and requests for access should undergo rigorous scrutiny. It's crucial to log, inspect, and continuously monitor all configuration changes, resource access, and network traffic for any suspicious activity. By adopting this mindset, organizations can respond more quickly and effectively to potential threats, as they are constantly on the lookout for anomalies that could indicate a breach. Verification must be explicit and consistent across all resources. Access decisions should not be based on a single factor, but should consider multiple attributes, both dynamic, like user behavior, location, and time of access, and static, like device type and security posture. By using these attributes, organizations can derive confidence levels for access decisions, ensuring that only legitimate users and devices gain access to sensitive resources. This multi-factor verification approach enhances the security posture by ensuring that access is contextually appropriate and continuously validated. These guiding principles form the foundation of a successful Zero Trust architecture. By embracing a mindset that prioritizes verification, assumes breaches, and treats every entity as potentially untrusted, organizations can significantly enhance their cybersecurity defenses. This proactive and layered approach to security enables organizations to defend against increasingly sophisticated threats in a constantly evolving digital landscape. Designing a Zero Trust solution is a structured process that focuses on protecting critical resources while ensuring robust access controls and monitoring. Let's delve into the key design concepts that guide the implementation of Zero Trust architecture. Define mission outcomes. The first step in leveraging Zero Trust design concepts is to align your architecture with specific organizational mission requirements. This involves identifying your critical data, assets, applications, and services, collectively referred to as DAS. Understanding what your organization values most allows you to tailor the Zero Trust architecture to meet those specific needs effectively. By defining these mission outcomes, you create a strong foundation for your security model, ensuring that protection efforts are aligned with the most important organizational goals. Architect from the inside out. In a Zero Trust model, the focus must start from within. The first priority is to protect the critical DAS identified earlier. Once these resources are secured, the next step is to ensure that all paths leading to them are also secure. This inward-out approach helps to fortify your most valuable assets before extending security measures to external connections. By concentrating on the critical resources first, you minimize the risk of exposure and create a solid defense perimeter. Determine access needs. Understanding who or what needs access to your DAS is crucial in establishing effective access control policies. This involves evaluating the roles of users, devices, and applications that will interact with these critical resources. By creating comprehensive security policies and applying them consistently across all environments, whether it's the local area network, LAN, wide area network, WAN, endpoint devices, perimeter security, or mobile access, you ensure a unified security posture that reduces vulnerabilities and potential attack surfaces. Inspect and log all traffic. Full visibility into network activity is essential for maintaining a robust zero-trust environment. Establishing mechanisms to inspect and log all traffic before taking action allows organizations to monitor activities across all layers, from endpoints to the network infrastructure. This comprehensive visibility enables advanced analytics that can detect suspicious activities or anomalies in real time. By logging every interaction, you create a valuable data resource for incident investigation and threat detection, further strengthening your overall security stance. By leveraging these zero-trust design concepts, organizations can build a resilient cybersecurity framework that addresses the complexities of modern threats while protecting their most critical assets. This approach not only enhances security, but also fosters a culture of vigilance and proactive defense against potential cyber risks. Zero Trust focuses on understanding and controlling the engagement of users, processes, and devices with organizational data. This is achieved through the use of a tuple, which includes the user, device, and relevant contextual information, such as location, time of day, and previous behaviors when making access decisions. This structured approach significantly enhances security by ensuring that all access attempts are verified. Now, let's delve into specific example scenarios where mature zero-trust implementation excels at detecting malicious activities compared to traditional security architectures. First, compromised user credentials. Imagine a situation where a malicious actor compromises a legitimate user's credentials to access organizational resources. In a traditional network environment, simply having the user's credentials might be enough to gain access. However, in a zero-trust framework, the device attempting the access is not recognized as legitimate. Thus, the authentication and authorization checks fail, leading to access denial. This incident is logged for future reference. Additionally, zero-trust requires strong authentication measures, such as multi-factor authentication, which complicates the process of stealing user credentials in the first place. Second, remote exploitation or insider threat. In this case, a cyber actor compromises a user's device through an internet-based exploit or as an insider with malicious intentions. In a non-zero trust scenario, the attacker could use the user's credentials to enumerate the network, escalate privileges, and move laterally to access sensitive data. However, in a zero-trust environment, both the user and device are assumed to be malicious until proven otherwise. The network is segmented, limiting opportunities for lateral movement. Even if the actor authenticates as the user and device, access to data is constrained based on security policies and user roles. Furthermore, a mature zero-trust setup utilizes encryption and digital rights management to safeguard data, along with continuous monitoring for anomalous behavior. Third, compromised supply chain here. A malicious actor embeds harmful code in a widely used enterprise device or application. In traditional architectures, these devices are considered trusted due to their internal status. However, in a zero-trust model, trust is not assumed. Access is tightly controlled and monitored. The system employs segmentation and utilizes analytics to track unusual activity. Although the device might receive signed updates, its connectivity is governed by a deny-by-default policy, blocking unauthorized remote connections. Additionally, network monitoring tools can detect and thwart attempts to move laterally from the compromised device. These examples showcase how a robust zero-trust implementation effectively detects and mitigates malicious activities that might otherwise go unnoticed in a traditional security framework. By leveraging contextual information, strong authentication, and continuous monitoring, organizations can significantly enhance their defenses against evolving threats. Next, let's discuss the concept of zero-trust maturity and the importance of a structured approach to its implementation. First, gradual implementation. Implementing a zero-trust architecture is not an overnight task. It requires significant time and effort to develop and integrate the necessary capabilities effectively. Fortunately, many organizations can leverage their existing infrastructure to incorporate zero-trust concepts, which eases the transition. However, moving toward a mature zero-trust architecture often necessitates additional capabilities to fully realize the benefits of this model. Then, incremental transition. It's crucial to understand that transitioning to a mature zero-trust architecture does not need to happen all at once. By incorporating zero-trust functionality incrementally as part of a well-thought-out strategic plan, organizations can effectively manage and reduce risks at each step. This gradual approach allows for continuous improvement and adaptation to evolving security challenges. Finally, roadmap to maturity. The National Security Agency, NSA, recommends adopting a structured roadmap for integrating zero-trust concepts into existing environments. This roadmap should encompass several stages, progressing from initial preparation to basic, intermediate, and advanced levels of maturity. As organizations advance through these stages, their cybersecurity protection, response capabilities, and operational efficiency will also improve, ensuring they keep pace with emerging threats. Embracing a gradual and strategic approach to zero-trust implementation enables organizations to enhance their security posture effectively, ensuring that they can adapt to the ever-changing threat landscape over time. As we move forward, it's essential to view zero-trust not just as a set of technologies, but as a continuous journey toward improved security and resilience. As we explore the potential challenges on the path to implementing zero-trust in enterprise networks, it's important to recognize several key obstacles that can hinder its effectiveness. First, lack of support and buy-in. One of the primary challenges in implementing zero-trust is the potential lack of full support across the enterprise. For a zero-trust solution to succeed, it requires commitment from leadership, administrators, and end users alike. If leaders are hesitant to allocate the necessary resources for building and sustaining a zero-trust environment, if administrators and network defenders lack buy-in or the requisite expertise, or if users find ways to circumvent established policies, the benefits of zero-trust will not be realized. It is crucial to maintain follow-through, especially after integrating even basic or intermediate zero-trust capabilities, to mature the implementation and maximize its advantages. Second, scalability issues. Another challenge arises from the need for scalability. Zero-trust principles necessitate that access control decisions, which may have previously occurred infrequently, are now made continuously as users access resources. This requires a robust infrastructure capable of making, enforcing, and logging these access decisions effectively. Moreover, elements of the network that were not previously integral to access control, such as data tags and additional network sensors, must now be reliably used and consistently monitored. Third, sustained mindset and vigilance. Finally, persistent adherence to the zero-trust mindset is essential. Administrators and defenders may experience fatigue from the constant application of fault-deny security policies and the assumption that a breach is always possible. However, if this mindset falters, the cybersecurity benefits of zero-trust can be significantly degraded or even eliminated. Therefore, fostering a culture of vigilance and commitment to zero-trust principles over time is critical to the long-term success of this security model. While the journey to zero-trust presents numerous challenges, recognizing and addressing these potential obstacles is vital to ensure a successful implementation and the realization of its security benefits. As we explore the concept of carefully minimizing embedded trust, it's essential to understand how this approach empowers a more secure mission, especially in today's increasingly complex network environments. First, changing defensive focus. The rapid evolution of adversarial tactics and the growing complexity of network environments necessitate a shift in our defensive strategies. The zero-trust mindset emphasizes securing critical data and access paths while minimizing trust. This approach acknowledges that trust can no longer be assumed. Instead, it must be earned through rigorous verification processes. Second, eliminating trust. At the core of zero trust is the principle of eliminating unnecessary trust. This means that every access request, whether from a user, device, or application, must be verified and re-verified regularly. By doing so, we create a robust security posture that is less vulnerable to compromise, as trust is no longer implicitly granted. Third, resource commitment. Implementing a zero-trust architecture is not a task to be taken lightly. It requires significant resources, time, and persistence to establish a framework that effectively eliminates embedded trust. Organizations must be prepared to invest in the necessary tools, technologies, and training to support this paradigm shift. Last, enhanced intrusion management. When executed properly, zero trust can greatly enhance an organization's ability to prevent, detect, and contain intrusions. In fact, it offers a significant improvement over traditional cybersecurity architectures, which may not be as integrated or responsive. By adopting a zero-trust framework, organizations can respond to threats more swiftly and effectively, thus minimizing potential damage. Carefully minimizing embedded trust is a critical component of establishing a secure mission. By embracing a zero-trust mindset, organizations can significantly bolster their cybersecurity posture and navigate the complexities of today's threat landscape with greater confidence. Thank you for watching. Embracing zero trust is about future-proofing your security in a world where threats are constantly evolving. By adopting this approach, organizations not only defend their data, but also gain the agility to adapt to emerging threats. Together, we can strengthen our cybersecurity posture and better protect our vital assets in an increasingly complex threat environment. See you in the next video.